Rachel Howarth. This is a video to demonstrate the safe use of a sheath knife for my level 3 Forest School course. So the sheath knife is an independent tool that children and learners would be using by themselves. It's usually used for whittling and shaping wood. So the children might be introduced to it to create pegs for building dens, or maybe spoons or other items that they might like to use during the Forest School session. Before the children are able to use the knife, we always do a tool talk with them, and we'd expect the children to remember key pieces of information from the tool talk before they're able to use the knife themselves. So I'm going to go through the tool talk with you now. This is my sheath knife. This is the handle and this is the sheath. I take the sheath off like this. This is the blade and this is the cutting edge. When I have finished with my knife, I put the sheath back on like this. I stand with my knife like this, and I walk with my knife like this. I pass my knife like this. When I use my knife, I use it 2 arms length and a tool's length away from anybody else. I use the knife to cut cord and to whittle wood. I have bare hands on the tool, and I use the knife on the outside of my body. I have a glove on my helper hand. When I am not using the knife, I place it on the floor next to me like this, with the handle facing forwards and the blade facing backwards. When I have finished with my knife, I place it back into the toolbox or the designated tool space. So I'm going to demonstrate how you would teach a child or a learner at Forest Schools to use the sheath knife safely. I will need my glove for my helper hand. Oops. And I will be kneeling on the floor to use my knife. You might choose to sit on a log or kneel in a safe position so that you have got good balance. So I'll be kneeling here, and I'm going to balance my piece of wood that I will be whittling on this log here. I'm going to remove the cover and hold the piece of wood with my helper hand. I'm going to hold it this way. Now, to begin with, it is quite difficult to use the knife, and so you would begin with bending the elbow and pushing down through the wood to get small shavings off, just to practice the skill of controlling the knife. But after a while, and particularly with smaller children, they will find this quite difficult because you need quite a lot of strength in your hand to control the knife and ensure it doesn't slip. So as their strength develops, you will have a more shoulder heavy action where you pull the shoulder back and keep the arm straight and push into the wood like that. Again, you can take smaller or larger shavings off with this action. So just using the shoulder to control the force of the blade. And then as you develop further, you could use a full back position. So you pull your body back and lean into the cut, and you get much deeper cut. So you can see that the shavings are becoming larger as I use that full body action with my back. There we go. The knife is really good for young children to develop gross motor skills. And it also encourages them to think carefully about what they want to create. So, for example, if you're making a peg, the idea of planning the project and making cuts that are suitable for the shape and the size of the wood material that you're using. So that's our sheath knife.